he got all his money off of
But you're
banking.
talking. But no. Joe Kennedy made his money from bootlegging.
No. So what happened was Joe Kennedy made all this money because when the Great Depression happened, he pulled out right before he got Great Depression. Fucking boom happened. Then he started investing and everything went back. He got in with fucking Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was the guy that fucking put Franklin Delano Roosevelt into fucking office with his money, man.
You know that the Roosevelts are worth way more than the Kennedys, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because the Kennedys, their wealth comes from Prohibition. Joe Kennedy Sr. was a fucking bootlegger, man. And Joe Kennedy Jr. is the bomber pilot that died in World War II.
He's going to be in a B-12 bomber, and they fucking hollow this fucking plane out, and they put just explosives in this motherfucker, like tons, like some stupid shit, like 10 tons of explosive. Going down the road or runway, and they fucking finally get up in the air, and they have like these escort planes. Sure, they fucking get to their destination, but they were going to hit these German like bombers, and
Okay.
and so they go up into the air and to their destination. Joe is with his co-pilot Bud, and Joe turns around and he's going to hit that switch to ignite the fucking bombs, and then they're going to parachute out of this plane. Anyway, so they hit the switch, and they didn't know, but one of the mechanics crossed some wires, and they just fucking blew up right there. Just blew them up, so they didn't even hit their targets. Come to find out, like a month before this, the English already hit these targets and already fucking destroyed all these targets that they were going after. So there was no point in even doing this, right? And so they find out, but the reason this dude kept taking all these missions is because he was always like his father's favorite, you know, and recently, like just the year before that, his younger brother fucking ended up getting a Purple Heart.
His younger brother was JFK, who ended up being a hero in his own right in the Pacific with his, rescue of people or whatever the hell he did.
Well, he went into the Pacific. He was a lieutenant, and he was commanding a boat, B-109 or some stupid
P-109,
P-109, whatever it was. So what they did was they were missile boats, and they were shooting these missiles at these Japanese fucking boats that were trying to go through this port or through this little fucking section. And they fired like 14 one day, missed all these boats, and thank God they did because they were American boats they shot at.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, like a week later or something, they were out after the Japanese, and they were always out after the Japanese, but they saw the Japanese and they were fucking firing on the Japanese. They got lost actually. Kennedy and one other boat got lost when the two other boats before him turned into the Japanese and fired at them. They actually circled around, fired at them. They shot 24 missiles at the Japanese, had 4 boats, and missed every single fucking one.
There were torpedoes, not missiles. But
so on the way back, the Japanese got down to the port and were making their way back, and fucking Kennedy saw them, and they fucking turned around towards them, and they were going to go straight into them and shoot, like hit them with the fucking missiles, and they didn't have time. The Japanese boat wrecked into their boat. Kennedy fucking, his whole crew fucking goes down. They're fucking holding on to.
Did we save like 20 people with a broken back, swimming them to an island or something? Isn't that right?
So what happened was there was like a large section of the boat that was still intact, and they held on to it, and it was floating down the fucking river, and they finally got like to where it was fucking sinking. So they pulled off like a raft piece, and like there was one guy that was like burnt up real fucking bad. So Kennedy actually swam that guy while everyone else swam on this raft piece and shit. And he swam him like 3.5 fucking miles, dude. And they get to this fucking island, and then Kennedy has to swim like another couple miles or some shit. And then he swims back. They don't find no land. They go the other way, and they swim towards this like smaller fucking section, which is another like 1.5 miles that he swam this dude. And then he got off and swam another fucking like 1/2 mile to this other smaller island where this boat coming by that was Americans saw some like sunburnt motherfuckers, and it was actually Kennedy, and they thought it was the Japanese. So they turned off and went out over to the fucking other island to get like some coconuts and get like fresh water out of the coconuts. Well, they saw some other sunburnt motherfuckers, and the only reason they stopped is because one had like a blonde beard, and they were like,
that ain't Japanese.
Yeah, that ain't Japanese. So then they fucking end up getting one of the missile boats to come pick up Kennedy, and then they picked up his crew and fucking all got rescued. 6 days they were out there swimming around though.
Do you know what? Do you know
6 days? That's how he got the Purple Heart.
Do you know what Kennedy's presidential paperweight was?
No.
It was a coconut in acrylic that was from the same island that he met up with natives that had got him on a rowboat and rowed him to an American vessel, and that's how they actually got rescued.
No shit.
Yeah, I learned this literally like
You
2 days
what?
ago.
Say it again.
A coconut that was encased in acrylic
Okay.
from the island that he was rescued from, like after he was like paddling people to the shore and shit. And they found some locals, and they had like fucking canoes, and they fucking canoed him to a U.S. vessel.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, that's what I heard.